Hi friends, I hope you're having a lovely day today. Today we're going to talk about a couple of photos I captured on a recent photo walk and sort of break them down in artistic thoughtfulness. This photo walk occurred at one of my favorite places to go here in Salt Lake City, which is the train station. There's one near my house. And it's very easy to get to, and there's always people coming in and out, people getting off of trains, lots of action. You know, the hustle and bustle of metropolitan traveling life and the industrial industry in action, performing in the way that it has for years now. There's a lot of history behind this. This is fantastic. I sound like the crocodile hunter. One interesting thing about the train station as it pertains to street photography is there are a lot of people waiting around for their trains and for their buses. People waiting around are always a good setup for some compelling street photography. Okay, let's talk about the first photo I captured here. This is a shot of a girl holding a very, very large plush elephant. As I was pulling up in my car, I could see this girl walking across the parking lot to the train platform, and I was like, okay, this is a good start. Also, this was Valentine's Day, so I had a rough idea of why she would have a giant elephant on her shoulders. I got to her, I asked her if I could take her photo, she said yes, and I decided that what the best course of action would be is she's the most interesting, her and the elephant are the most interesting thing in the shot, of course. And I thought that the best thing to do with the composition would be to put her dead center and then have just enough environment around her to show where she's at, what's going on, give some context. I snapped a couple of photos. This is what I got. This photo is an example of one moving quickly because the streets are always moving around you, and I have many times lost opportunities because I moved too slow. I hesitated. I didn't sprint after it with the fury of a stallion horse, if you will. Another thing is I was very intentional about working the environment with this composition. I knew that having her be very close to the camera and having her be the centerpiece of what was going on, and then having the environment sort of overflow around her would be a compelling way to go with this. Also, her expression here, I captured maybe 6 or 7 photos, and this was the expression I ended up using. And there were a couple of different photos where I liked the expression. I kind of battled with, and it was like, small face movements and this and that. This was the perfect balance of the composition I was going after and the expression I was going after. Okay, next, from afar I saw this snowboarder standing on the other train platform where the bigger trains come in. Those are exciting. I walked over to him, asked if I could take his photo. He was very interested, and I started snapping shots. I decided that what I wanted to do was I wanted to have him on the platform and then have a bit more of the environment in the shot than the last one, right? One thing I think that's pleasant about this photo is how you have the train tracks running from the bottom left of the photo all the way down the frame in this sort of leading line fashion. There's also a nice, what I would call a balancing element of the green towers on the left. It's a nice color accent to all the other colors that are going on in the photo. One of the challenges I faced when I was taking this photo was how I wanted his face to be sort of represented in the camera, what I wanted his expression to be. I learned that having him look out was not really that compelling in this case. Having him look towards the camera or right over the top of the camera as if he's looking down the train line became a much more compelling end result. Also, having his very elaborate tapestry of a snowboard represented well was an important thing for this photo too, I think. Another small detail that I think really adds to this photo are the 2 people in the background. It gives this sense of inhabitants, but I also think they're very elegantly placed. You have him in the foreground, and then you move back a little bit, and you got the girl sitting there, and then you move further back, and you have this guy's face perfectly silhouetted, and it gives this sense of depth. Something that would be easy to skip over but is very important is the fact that his face is sort of the brightest point in the photo. It would be easy to take this photo in lighting that would not create that, and that would sort of break the photo. This photo works and operates well because the items, you know what I mean, right? So I'm an awesome photographer. Okay, next. Okay, the final photo I want to talk about today, and the one that I was the most happy with from this photo walk is this one I captured of a woman walking in between two trains on the platform. The closer train was sitting, loading its passengers. The one in the background, I think, was moving at this point. It created this beautiful layering of train, person, train. So in my creative thinking of how I wanted to capture the go-abouts of this train station, I was very much attracted to this idea of shooting between two train cars, having somebody walk and use the train cars as a frame. So this is not the first time I've attempted to do this. I've tried other times and failed. This is the first successful attempt. In this case, the train moved in and I didn't have to wait long. Sometimes you do, and it's important to be willing to do that and be patient. Patience is a huge part of street photography. I didn't have to wait long. There was a serendipitous moment where this woman happened to be walking through the frame and she was aesthetically pleasing, and the train was in the background as well, which I think really adds to it, and it all worked together in perfect harmony. One thing that is extremely interesting about this photo is the color balance and how you have the red train on the left and the blue train on the right. In the background you have white, red, and blue. And then you have the woman. She has this very intense spot of light on her face, which I think makes this photo work. And then she's wearing black, and then there are other black elements around the scene to tie it all together. This photo ended up being a perfect storm of elements that happened to come together through patience and lots of failed attempts at this photo. Also, the elements create a sense of depth and symmetry here. And finally, of course, we have the expression of the woman, her legs being in the perfect spot, her being the right person. And once again, this comes from being patient and having a perseverance about you. All these elements came together in the end to tell the story, which is the point. I'm happy with this photo, and I don't care if you don't like it. Okay, that's all for today. I hope this brought you value and inspired you. And of course, if you have any questions or thoughts, please leave them below. I would be happy to engage with you. You have a fantastic day, and goodbye. Oh, and one final thought. Are you still here? Did you leave? Okay. So if you are curious about the gear that I used for this photo walk and that I use, I have all of that listed below, and you can check that out. There are Amazon links. And if you're looking for any other gear, say you're like, I hate Nikon, they killed my family for some odd, then you can shop around for Fuji or whatever, what have you. If you want to buy something else, by clicking any one of those links and shopping around, that will support this channel, and I will love you forever. Okay, now you can go. You're free.